Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome to the stage your Master of Ceremonies for today's 15th anniversary program, Mr. Neil Middleton, Vice President of News with WYMT Television and former Executive Committee member of the Center for Rural Development.
Thank you. Today is a very special day for the Center for Rural Development and a special day for all of us here. We are recognizing the nonprofit organization's 15th anniversary. This represents 15 years of changing people's lives through innovative and impactful programs and services in our focus areas of leadership, public safety, arts and culture, and technology. Though the Center's mission of providing leadership that stimulates innovative and development solutions and a better way of life for the citizens it serves remains unchanged, this organization has grown greatly in the past 15 years from just serving a 42-county area in southern and eastern Kentucky. Technology and steadfast outreach and education efforts now allow us to serve citizens across the Commonwealth and in some cases across this great nation. In all of these great developments, it is truly the people who tell the story, both the people who benefit from our programs and services and the people here across the region, across the state, and across the nation who deliver these programs and services. It's our story and it's your story, and we're going to see that story unfold here today. To launch us on that journey, please welcome to the stage the person who has led the Center for the majority of these 15 great years and continues to do so today, President and CEO, Mr. Lonnie Lawson.
Thank you, Neil. Good morning and welcome to the Center. I cannot believe it's been 15 years. It's been one of the fastest periods of time that I can ever remember. The success of the Center can be attributed to a lot of folks, a lot of the hard work of a lot of folks. And I know I'm going to miss some folks, and I apologize up front, but I'm going to talk about a few of them that were really, really critical in the success of this place. First and foremost is obviously Congressman Rogers, Clay Davis, and Dr. Richard Carpenter, who sat down and formed the plan on that napkin that became the blueprint for the Center for Rural Development. That original board of directors that served this organization, that took this dream and made it a reality. Hilda Legg, that took that vision and ran with it, started developing programs and putting things in place so that this place could be successful. Congressman Rogers' staff, both in Kentucky and in D.C. The University of Kentucky, Dr. Ben Carr was just a lifesaver in those early days, and he was one of our original board members as well. Dr. Lee Todd is here, and we're going to honor today, kept that vision going, and we just appreciate the University of Kentucky so very much. Mayor Smith Van Hook, he and Judge Darrell Bashir were the serving county administrators at that time, and they bought into the vision and supported this vision as well. We want to thank the current mayor, Eddie Girdler, the current judge executive, Barty Bullock, great to work with, but I also want to thank all of those other county judge executives, mayors, city council, magistrates, all the other elected officials throughout the 42 county service territory that have helped us bring all of this vision together and are on the path toward creating a better way of life in southern and eastern Kentucky. To all of our state legislators, we want to thank you for your support over the years as well. The original Founders Club members, they had a large part in making this thing a go from the very early days, raising money and trying to keep the programs going. The affiliate organizations and their directors and staff, Senator McConnell's office, Senator Paul's office, and all of their staffs, we work with them very closely each and every day. And all of the other partners across the state that we work with on a consistent basis. And certainly last but not least, the very talented and dedicated staff of the Center for Rural Development. I would be remiss if I didn't thank each and every one of them, and I want you to give them a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to bring up a man that I mentioned, a man who was instrumental, along with Congressman Rogers, in the creation of the center. His leadership guided us in the very early days and continues to guide us today. Please welcome our board chairman, Clay Parker Davis.
Thank you, Lonnie. On behalf of the Center's Executive Committee, Board of Directors, I would like to welcome all of you to the Center today. We are grateful you chose to join us as we celebrate 15 years of this fantastic organization. I'd like to say, too, the success of this organization for 15 years, we've only had two executive directors, Hilda Legg and Lonnie Lawson. And without their leadership, the day-to-day operation is very important to the success of this organization. Congressman Rogers is the one who got these facilities here and presented an opportunity for all of us, not only in the community, the local community, but in the 42 county areas and also the state of Kentucky. And now it is recognized nationally. And this is very important to our board, very important that these two people have been you might say, the leaders who have led us through these 15 years, and we have survived without going back to anybody for extra funding or anything. We've run it like a business, I'll have to say that. We put pressure both on Hilda, we put pressure on Lonnie. And they have come through, and the staff has too, and provided all the services. We're in 15 years, but we're not done. We're looking towards the future. You are a large part of our story, and hope you will remain friends and associates of the Center for the next 15 years and beyond as we continue to change people's lives and our own lives. And I want to say thank you for attending this great celebration. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage the Center's founding visionary, a man from Wayne County, Kentucky, just down the road, next county down the road, that had to leave his home to find work elsewhere. But he came back home, and his public service career has been dedicated to making sure that our best and brightest, just like our Rogers Scholars, do not have to leave home to find work. Through 3 decades in Congress, he has risen to the top of the ranks and currently serves as the House Appropriations Committee chairman, a man who works tirelessly to make his 5th congressional district a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Please welcome our honored guest, Congressman Harold Rogers.
Thank you very much. And Lonnie, thanks for the nice introduction. Thank all of you for being here and celebrating together the 15th anniversary of this great institution. It seems only yesterday that some of us got together, and out of that conversation and work came this dream that now celebrates 15 years in existence. So thank you for being here for this great event. This place has made remarkable progress in changing the face of eastern and southern Kentucky. No doubt about that. In fact, I think safely say that this center has led the effort in transforming southern and eastern Kentucky. This now is a place of hope. This is a place of opportunity. And that's quite a change that has taken and transformed the region. When I was first elected in 1981, I took over a region of the state that had some real problems. U.S. News and World Report had just published a lengthy article saying that my district had the fewest number of high school graduates than any in the nation. Unemployment was extremely high here. There was no plan to promote the region's beauty and to bring jobs through tourism. We were a place of great littering and pollution of our streams. We were a region that was later to be crippled by a rampant drug abuse problem. We were an area, a rural, sparsely populated, poor, isolated region with no cooperation across county lines. In short, a place of little hope and less opportunity. I was born and raised here, as Lonnie said, and I wanted to stay here, live out my life in the region that I was born into and with people that I knew and had known all my life, like all of the rest of us. But there was no opportunity. And so out of high school, like my father before me, I followed a brother to Ohio looking for a job. And that was the way that all of us had to go about living, leaving home, looking for a future somewhere else. And after the taxpayers had paid good money to educate me and people like me, then they shipped us off somewhere else to make our living and enriching that place. So when elected to Congress, it became my vow to try to build opportunity and hope in this region so that young people like myself coming on could realize their future here at home and use their talents to build a better place here. And that became my mantra. So over the years, we created these volunteer organizations to tackle our region's problems, and we came about them one at a time over a period of years. But the first was Forward in the Fifth, a group of people that we pulled together from all of the state of Kentucky, in fact, around the country, and brainstormed how we could try to reverse this problem of low education attainment in our part of the state. And you know what, Dr. Todd? It's working. It works. We're improving. And then along came an organization that's dear to my heart that was built to try to recruit business and industry and jobs into our region. I see several of the founding members of Southern Kentucky Economic Development Foundation with us here today. All of us in our individual counties over the years had worked to try to recruit business and industry to our town, but we were in competition with our neighbor next door. And so you didn't let your secrets out to the next county. And it was very insular. But I called together people that did that type of thing from several counties into one room, competitors, and I didn't know whether to pack heat or not. But you know what? They found, and I found, a willingness to work together that we thought we could do a better job reaching farther out and making more contacts and having more success if we pooled our talent, pooled our money, and pooled our effort. And out of that came this regional organization called SCED. They can count about 10,000 new jobs. That's 10,000 people like me that's no longer having to go to Ohio or somewhere else to find work, building their family and their future here. Then we realized, too, what a beautiful section of the country we lived in. But we weren't selling what we had here for tourists on a very large scale. Individual counties would advertise in Lexington, maybe, occasionally to Cincinnati, and that was great. But we realized that if we pooled our efforts across county lines, we could put together a pretty good sum of money. We could hire some professional staff, and we could reach further and beyond anything we had dreamt of separately. Out of that came tour Southern and Eastern Kentucky, Tour SEKY. It works. There's tour buses coming in here all over from all over the country, indeed the world. We're getting stories in national magazines about the beauty of this part of the world. Jobs. Then along came Pride, the cleanup campaign, which has been phenomenally successful. That has done more, I think, to transform the appearance of Eastern Kentucky than anything else that I've seen. You just don't see trash along the highway anymore, much less cars over the bank or dumps. They've cleaned up 2,500 dumps. They've picked up almost 1 million tires, for example. So you've transformed the face of Southern and Eastern Kentucky, headquartered here in this building. And then along comes Unite, an effort to try to tackle this terrible problem that we have in our region and the rest of the state and country has, by the way, of drug abuse. But Unite recognized that we've got a problem, we face up to it, and we're going to do something about it. And that work is ongoing and is highly successful and is working. We've got a ways to go, but it's working. But along the way in developing these volunteer organizations over the years, we realized we needed to be in some single place. We needed a roof over or an umbrella over those groups. We thought if they were in the same place, there would be some synergism. After all, when you clean up a place with Pride, you're going to reap some tourism benefits, or you're going to be able to recruit a factory or a business that otherwise you may not have had a chance. And so synergism, by being together in one place, was important to us. And out of that desire came this facility. All of these volunteer groups are volunteers, helped by professional staff here at the center. In every county, there's a coalition in each of these organizations of volunteers who are involved in solving their own problems. We've had enough of top-down economic development. It needs to be bottom-up, where people are involved in their own problems and contribute to it. Thousands of people are involved through this center in these organizations. Just for example, as an example, in April, during the annual Pride cleanup campaign, they had 33,300 volunteers in just that 1 month, all across these 42 counties. Along the way, I've changed my mind a bit. I used to think that the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow was the number of jobs we produced, or the number of tires we pick up, or the number of tourists we bring in. I thought that was the pot of gold. I'm wrong. It's the rainbow, the doing of the project, not necessarily the result. It's the involvement of all of us in our own problems, in getting involved and pitching in and being a part of the solution. So it's the beauty of the rainbow, I think, more important than the pot of gold at the end. The results of all of this work that all of you have been involved in, by the thousands across a big span of Kentucky, are really amazing. Increased educational attainment, thousands of new jobs recruited, a nationally recognized campaign to bring in tourists, an astounding cleanup campaign, which has won national acclaim, this region-wide anti-drug campaign recognized by the White House and set up as a model for the rest of the country, and then, of course, the place where we coordinate all of that here, this great center, and the staff that run the center and provide the machinery that allows us to glue all of these volunteers together into a single monolithic effort tackling these problems. We needed a roof, but we found a home. And this 15 years has been a remarkable period of time. We've seen changes take place that we dreamt of, but we didn't really fully expect. but we're seeing the unexpected take place. We're seeing results that are absolutely astounding and are mentioned nationwide. So I want to tell you here on your 15th anniversary what a great job you're doing. But I also want to say that your work is nowhere near complete. So I'm here to thank you, pat you on the back, but to remind you there's only about a 16-inch difference between a pat on the back and a kick in the rump. So I want to kick you further down the pike. We need another astounding 15 years. And I'm here to celebrate with you this great event that you celebrate today, rightfully so, but here also to encourage you to be even bolder, be even more outreaching, involve many more people, because the more people we involve in our own solutions, the better chance we'll have of solving the problems. But you've made a great start. So the theme of this center, as you look out that big front window of the lobby, symbolizing, I think, the future, and Hilda Legg is the one I think that sort of keeps reminding us of this, that this place is a place where young people, that leads our young people to realize their future without having to leave home to find it. So congratulations to you. I'm proud of you, but keep up the great work.
The center's programs are organized into 4 focus areas: leadership, public safety, arts and culture, and technology. Today, we will recognize individuals who exemplify our efforts in these focus areas and are changing people's lives in their own right. We will also present 2 more awards to a strategic partner organization and to someone who has built up our region through public service leadership. So prepare yourselves to be taken back to where it all began.
As the story goes, it was given the first sparks of life as drawings on a restaurant napkin, a place to serve as a convention center, a venue for performing arts, and last but not least, as a place to house the offices and operations of organizations destined to have a regional impact. But this is not a story of bricks and mortar or concrete and steel. It is not the story of a building at all. This is the story of a vision penned by 3 community leaders on that restaurant napkin. This is a vision that has become a reality, not by the construction of a building, but by the assembling of a team of talented individuals that have taken up that vision. These individuals are the Center for Rural Development. In the mid-1980s, the 2 topics on the mind of Kentucky's 5th District Congressman Harold Rogers were education and jobs. Realizing that it would take the energy of an entire region, Congressman Rogers started 2 grassroots organizations. The first, Forward in the 5th, was a united effort to address the educational challenges the region faced, mainly that of the low percentage of high school graduates. That being a success, Congressman Rogers then initiated an organization to bring together the people that recruit jobs in the region. The Southeast Kentucky Economic Development Corporation was born. In time, the number of these grassroots organizations increased to those that address the drug problem, hometown security, environmental awareness, and tourism. The thought was to bring together those who could make a unified effort of solving the common problems faced by all of the counties in the region. But something else was needed.
We needed a place, a physical location, where we could bring together these different regional organizations under one roof. We thought would give all of them some synergy, that would be much more strong if we were together rather than separate organizations. And so the idea of having a roof over our heads for what we then call the critters, these separate organizations, was what we were working toward. Community-based volunteers with professional staff, but covering a whole region of the state. By and large, these critters cover about a fourth or so of the geography of Kentucky, with 29 counties in some of their coverage areas, others up to 43. But problems that are common to all of those counties. That's what this center was designed to try to do, and that's to bring together people from all corners of our region of the state that share common problems and focus professional staff on those problems, bring together hopefully the better thinkers in the region to dream and to ideate and build a better place.
In about 1984, I was also president of the Kentucky Bankers Association and was traveling the state. And I happened to have a meeting where I thought it should be in Bowling Green, but it wasn't. It was in Horse Cave. And I couldn't figure out why we were meeting in Horse Cave when Bowling Green was the larger city. And they had a convention center there. And it impressed me, so after that evening was over with, when I came back to Somerset, I got the mayor, who was Van Hook then, and Scott Paget, who was on the city council, and I took him over to show him this. I said, this is what we need in Somerset. Well, I kept telling Hal this, and so, and Richard Carpenter, who was president of Somerset Community College at the time.
It was known that the community college at Somerset needed a theater. There had been some talk in the community around Somerset of the need for a convention center, an exhibition hall. We needed office space and a roof over the head of the critters. We then began to say, well, now how will this thing lay out? How are you going to put together these three pieces that makes a workable building? And I remember we were having lunch, Clay Davis and Richard Carpenter from the college and myself at the Holiday Inn restaurant at that time. We didn't have any paperwork. So I got a napkin out of the holder, put it on the table, and I drew out a layout of a building that would do these three things. And out of that napkin came the design of the building.
Realizing that a project of this caliber could not be accomplished without a bigger force behind it, Congressman Rogers enlisted the aid of the University of Kentucky.
Congressman Rogers came to the University of Kentucky to be a partner in this Center for Rural Development when it was nothing but a concept. And those of you who know Congressman Rogers know he has a lot of concepts and a lot of vision for what he would like to do in his region. And the university became the organization that would build the building, take the land, if the city and county could provide the land, and would do the design, site development, the building, furnish it, and then provide support in whatever way we could after the center was open.
Putting bricks and mortar together is one thing, but putting together the elements of a vision is a completely different story. That task fell to the center's first executive director, Hilda Legg.
It really began identifying the needs in the community, knowing we need to do something about it, building a building around that to house that structure so that we could interact together, all with one goal of helping young people have a future here. And then other services developed because of the needs of the communities and how we learned about the expertise within our own staff and began to reach out to serve our mission. The purpose of this building, the Center for Rural Development, is to enhance the opportunities for young people through economic development, through education and training, through arts and culture, so that those young people can grow and learn and actually come back to our region of southern and eastern Kentucky and find a job and call it home and pay taxes and then do their part of public service.
While the building known as the Center is an active facility, the entity known as the Center changes people's lives through focus areas of leadership, public safety, arts and culture, and technology throughout the southern and eastern Kentucky region it serves. The Center for Rural Development is a catalyst for local, regional, and statewide economic and educational development. Through our leadership focus area, the center empowers students, adults, cities, and counties with the tools to succeed. The key to any program of rural development is the fostering of empowered leadership, based on Congressman Rogers' goal that no young person will have to leave home to find his or her future. The center reaches out not only to communities, but to the young people who will someday be their leaders. The center's efforts with the region's youth began back in 1998. Named in honor of Congressman Rogers, the Rogers Scholars Program is an intensive one-week session for 60 of the region's best and brightest rising high school juniors. The program emphasizes technology, entrepreneurship, leadership, and a commitment to rural Kentucky. The program's goal is to encourage the region's young people to return home after their education is finished, and many of them have.
Rogers Scholars allowed me to see how much impact people could have on the area where we live. So when I chose a school, I wanted to stay in the region that I had grown up in. So I went to University of the Cumberlands and studied elementary education. And once I graduated, I thought, well, maybe I do want to leave, go try something new. So I actually served as a missionary in California for a semester. And while I was there, God really laid it on my heart, and I really came to see that southeastern Kentucky was where I wanted to be. I wanted to give back to the region that gave so much to me. And Rogers Scholars is a big part of that reason, because it showed me how much impact even one person can have on the area.
The caliber of the scholars graduating from the program did not go unnoticed.
Lindsey Wilson College became involved with the Rogers Scholars shortly after I had 3 of my daughters who actually were in the program, and had an opportunity to experience how it transformed their lives and the quality of young people that they had been exposed to through the program. And so once we kind of got acquainted with it, saw how much it had transformed their lives, I thought this is a wonderful opportunity for us to recognize the Rogers Scholars and to treat them like we treat, let's say, the Governor Scholars. And so we began offering, became the first college to begin offering a full tuition scholarship to the Rogers Scholars.
Since Lindsey Wilson began offering Rogers Scholars graduates scholarships in 2005, 15 other institutions in the region and in the state have followed suit. That same year saw the birth of another program. Modeled after the Rogers Scholars, the Rogers Explorers became a 3-day, 2-night program for rising ninth graders. Based in collegiate settings, Rogers Explorers focuses on building skills in math and science. Entrepreneurs are the foundation of any economic development plan. Recognizing this, the center launched the Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute. Aimed at high school students, this one-week program strives to encourage our region's youth to consider starting a business as a career option. Your Center of Learning unites the center's array of current and future training, learning, and education solutions. These offerings provide individuals, businesses, organizations, and entrepreneurs the job skills they need to positively impact the economy. Appalachian Regional Commission grants, awarded by the Center's Developing and Implementing Community Strategies program, help cities and counties plan for the future. The Tri-Cities Development Corporation had a great idea to promote the cities of Cumberland, Benham, and Lynch, but needed the funding to carry it out.
The Center for Rural Development has been a great resource, not only in helping us to find grants, but the personnel there has been a great help in guiding us through these grants, different people in different departments. We've worked closely with Pride. We've worked a lot with Tourist CKY, and then all of these community developments. The center has been a great resource for us.
For our first Regional Leadership Award, we recognize 2 individuals who planned, coordinated, and promoted a fundraising event in their home of Wayne County. Their movie night fundraiser at the newly remodeled Wayne County Theater was part of their Rogers Scholars Community Service Project. The pair sold tickets for the inspirational movie The Blind Side through all branch locations at the Monticello Banking Company and promoted the event with radio interviews. Through these efforts, they managed a sellout crowd of 200 people and raised $1,400 through ticket sales and concessions, splitting the proceeds between the Hope Pregnancy Center and the Wayne County Quarterback Club. He is a freshman at Western Kentucky University studying civil engineering. She is a first-year student here at Somerset Community College in Physical Therapy Assistant Program. Your Center 15th Anniversary Community Service Leadership Award winners are 2009 Rogers Scholars, Mr. Blake Adams and Miss Victoria Rose. As great as examples as these two students are of the Center's youth programs, along with Laura Johnson Curry in the video you just saw, they are among the more than 1,300 young people just like them who have graduated from the Center's youth program since we opened our doors back in 1996. We are honored to have other youth program graduates here with us today, and I'd like to ask them to stand so that we can also give them a round of applause. If you'd please stand. Thank you.
Through our public safety focus area, the Center leads initiatives that are providing critical information, collaboration, and training to law enforcement professionals and first responders across the nation. The Center operates the National Law Enforcement and Corrections Technology Center's Small, Rural, Tribal, and Border Regional Center. SRTB provides responsive solutions, practical benefits, outreach support, and technical assistance to nearly 17,000 agencies across the nation through innovative, collaborative cooperation. Small agencies do not have all the resources their larger counterparts have, but the networking and collaboration through their participation in SRTB, Rural Law Enforcement Technology Institutes, proves there are strength in numbers.
I happen to be out researching basically funding for certain things, and I saw this conference and I said, you have to be kidding me, there's a conference on learning how to do funding, and I mean, it makes sense. So that was one of the reasons I actually applied to the Technology Institute, and it worked out perfect.
The Center also recognizes that proper training is critical for our nation's first responders. Our effort to provide Homeland Security training comes in the form of two programs, the Institute for Preventive Strategies and the Rural Domestic Preparedness Consortium. The Institute for Preventive Strategies provides a terrorism prevention certificate program through online, highly interactive training designed around the National Strategy for Homeland Security. The Rural Domestic Preparedness Consortium develops and delivers both classroom and online training on numerous key topics targeted at the nation's rural communities, where resources are often stretched thin. Late September, early October of 2010 presented a formidable challenge to Kentucky's first responders as Kentucky hosted the 2010 All-Tech FEI World Equestrian Games.
The overall benefit of Management 335 and planning for the World Equestrian Games was it gave us a template. It gave us a checklist. It allowed us to and helped us and assisted us in thinking outside the box about potential realistic threats that could in fact manifest themselves during this event. It also taught us the importance of a proactive approach when planning for an event.
Our next regional award recognizes an individual who is known across the nation as one of the leading authorities on school and workplace violence and active shooter response. A part-time police officer for the Wilmore Police Department in Jessamine County and a 30-year law enforcement veteran. He trains law enforcement, military, and security personnel across the U.S. by teaching for numerous nonprofit organizations, including the National Tactical Officers Association, and the Law Enforcement Division of the National Rifle Association. He also volunteers as an adjunct instructor for Kentucky's Department of Criminal Justice Training. Through his efforts, he has educated countless business leaders and government officials, as well as school staff at various levels, about preparing for and responding to workplace and school violence. Your Center 15th Anniversary Public Safety Award winner is Mr. Don Always.
The Center for Rural Development fosters a culture of creativity throughout our region. Through our Arts and Culture Focus Area, the center is a hub of activity, hosting performing arts series, special concerts, and events that enrich, entertain, and inspire the imagination of people of all ages. In partnership with Lake Cumberland Performing Arts, the center provides entertainment and educational programming through our center stage, children's primetime theater, and school-time theater series in our state-of-the-art 760-seat Performing Arts Theater.
Lake Cumberland Performing Arts was formed around 40 years ago, and our primary object to organizing this group is to present quality arts to our people here and surrounding counties. We've had orchestras, we've had ballets, we've had everything. And when they come in, they can't believe that a small city like Somerset has such a facility.
School-time theater brings educational performances to students that align with the critical content in Kentucky classrooms. Children's primetime theater allows parents to bring children to performances at pricing comfortable within even the tightest of budgets.
We bus in around 5,000 children a year to our children's theater. If you are here and see them come in, it actually warms your heart. And they come in, and we have our wonderful gallery on the first and second floor where they see real paintings and sculpture. It's something so good.
A concert by the National Symphony Orchestra in 2011 came with an opportunity to expand our cultural outreach. Some of the orchestra's musicians presented an educational experience that was captured in the center's video production studio and made available online to the region's music teachers.
Our next regional award recognizes an individual whose work has greatly furthered outreach efforts in arts and culture in Pulaski County and the city of Somerset, her home for 27 years. Serving in various capacities on the Lake Cumberland Performing Arts Board of Directors for many years, she currently chairs grant efforts for the Cornelia Dozier Cooper Endowment Fund, which helps bring arts and culture opportunities and performances here to the center. Through her efforts with those organizations, she has helped bring numerous stage productions and art exhibits here that entertain and enrich our region. An artist herself, her exclusive exhibit of 29 original paintings, aquascapes, and more is on display in the lobby exclusively for today's event. She is a member of the Lexington Art League, a signature member of the Kentucky Watercolor Society, the Sheltowee Artisans, and the Watershed Arts Alliance. Your Center 15th Anniversary Arts and Culture Award winner is Miss Peggy Sherry.
Through our technology focus area, the center provides unprecedented access and connectivity to businesses, organizations, and educational institutions.
Several years ago, the Kentucky Community and Technical College system was looking for ways that we could become more effective and efficient with our resources, particularly in our technology area, and we determined that we could not afford to continue to try to host all of our network and some of our course management system. So we turned to the Center for Rural Development for those efforts. They've been a tremendous partner for us, and we've really enjoyed their partnership.
The center is a one-stop shop that can provide professional services to those requiring the use of new media, such as website development, graphic design, and streaming video services. The center also can offer full-service video recording and production in studio and on location. The award-winning CenterNet 2 video conferencing network is the bridge between businesses and the rest of the globe. CenterNet 2 also brings the world to the region students.
Thanks to the Center for Rural Development's CenterNet 2 video conferencing network, we are able to take our students on educational virtual field trips that would otherwise be impossible. Today we're connecting more than 100 of our high school students with the Holocaust Museum in New York for a living history lesson on World War II. Students can ask questions of Holocaust survivors and they can answer in real time. How else could we do that from Kentucky?
Through work in his previous position as Economic Director of the City of Prestonsburg, our next regional award winner coordinated work in 2008 that brought free wireless internet service to a 2-mile corridor running through the downtown Prestonsburg area. The project, the first of its kind among eastern Kentucky cities, has helped spur a downtown renaissance in this city of 5,000 residents. More than 30 new jobs were created during the first 45 days of service following the launch. Over the past 22 months, the free wireless network has encountered more than 340,000 unique users. As a result of these efforts, the project was recognized in Government Technology magazine as Best Use of Technology in Local Government, and the city has received more than 300 calls from around the world concerning this project. Your Center 15th Anniversary Technology Award winner is Mr. Brent Graydon.
President Ronald Reagan said, "While I take inspiration from the past, like most Americans, I live for the future." And that is exactly the Center's focus.
I think the crown jewel of the Center's programs would be the youth programs taken collectively. The young people of the area are a natural resource. The service area of the Center is rich in natural resources, coal fields, Lake Cumberland, timberlands, a lot of different natural resources, but the greatest natural resource the area has is its young people. And getting young people positioned to succeed in life and to succeed in careers and recognize opportunities as they come along and then capitalize on those opportunities, that's something that I think the Center can really help with. And the youth programs in each of its iterations, each of the different formats that they have, can play a very major role in that. And that's something I think the Center should continue to emphasize on into the future.
The Center, the building itself is the place where we do our thing. But obviously, it's the people, the professional staff, the volunteers. The main reason for the success of the Center is the fact that it provides professional, trained, full-time staff that know what they're doing, that help the volunteers achieve their goals. And so it's not just the building, obviously. The building is a vehicle. I was extremely proud just a few months ago to sit in the audience and listen to the National Symphony from the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. perform in the theater of the Center. That caused me to reflect back to the napkin and to fantasize just what has taken place over that fairly short span of time.
The building behind me is nothing more than just that, a building, a tool for the work that we do. From Congressman Rogers and the original founding members' vision on that napkin to where we are today, it's the programs that we develop that affect the lives of the residents of southern eastern Kentucky, within this Commonwealth, and across this great nation of ours. With the Center building as a base of operations, we've been able to provide training and services involving law enforcement professionals like Bobby Day and Chris Wagoner, so that they can help people feel safer through our public safety initiatives. Work with Cornelia Cooper and Lake Cumberland Performing Arts to let people tap into the creative spirit through the arts. Empower our region's young people like Laura Johnson Curry through leadership, education opportunities, and give people and organizations like the Kentucky Community and Technical College System access through advanced technology. Since the Center for Rural Development opened its doors in 1996, our society and our world have changed tremendously. Through it all, we're still fueled by our mission to provide leadership that stimulates innovative and sustainable economic development solutions and a better way of life for the citizens we serve. The Center for Rural Development is the center of change in southern and eastern Kentucky. The dedicated professionals housed here are second to none. The outcomes of our combined efforts can only be summed up by saying we change people's lives.
Well, for our next award, we will recognize an institution that has been a long-standing partner with the Center for many years. Based in Richmond, Eastern Kentucky University is one of 6 academic institutions that develop U.S. Department of Homeland Security FEMA-certified national training programs for the Rural Domestic Preparedness Consortium, of which the Center is a strategic partner. EKU also supports the Center's Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute Summer Youth Leadership Program by providing presidential scholarship offers to members of the first-place team in the program's Business Concept Competition. EKU serves as the host site for one of the Center's 3 annual Rogers Explorers Summer Youth Leadership Camps. Additionally, EKU is a sponsoring partner along with the Center and Kentucky Highlands Investment Corporation in the annual Excellence in Entrepreneurship Awards program, which recognizes the region's top business leaders and entrepreneurs. Your Center 15th Anniversary Strategic Partner Award winner is Eastern Kentucky University, accepted by Dr. Charles Hickox, Dean of Continuing Education and Outreach. For our next award, we will recognize a person whose impact can still be felt here at the Center as well as across our state's higher education community and beyond. Dr. Lee Todd, Jr. of Lexington, former president of the University of Kentucky, was instrumental in helping strengthen the ongoing partnership between UK and the Center. Most recently, he worked to add UK to the growing list of colleges and universities that offer graduates of our Rogers Scholars Program exclusive scholarship opportunities. Dr. Todd stepped down from his position as UK president in June after serving 10 years at the helm of the university. During his tenure, Dr. Todd focused on helping the university achieve greater national prominence and gain status as a top 20 public research university. Since 2001, UK's research expenditures have more than doubled. Student enrollment has grown by more than 13%, and the percentage of students graduating has increased as well. Your Center 15th Anniversary Public Service Award winner is Dr. Lee Todd, Jr. We actually have one final award to present today. This one goes to the distinguished individual without whom none of us would be sitting here today in this spectacular facility and hearing about these life-changing programs and services delivered through the Center for Rural Development for the last 15 years. 5th District U.S. Congressman Hal Rogers, or Hal as we all know him, expressed in our video today that he had a desire to see his home region, Southern and Eastern Kentucky, become a better place for those making a living here and for the children growing up in the region and for those children of the future who will be its leaders. That desire and vision was directly responsible for the creation of the Center and all of our affiliate organizations, or as you heard earlier, critters as he so affectionately calls them. While work still remains, the region, the state, and the nation are immeasurably better because of Congressman Rogers through his service in Congress for the past 3 decades and for his steadfast determination and tireless work in securing a better future for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you 5th District U.S. Congressman and House Appropriations Committee Chairman Harold Rogers, our Visionary Award winner for the Center's 15th anniversary.
You surprised me. I'm honored and flattered, of course. But what a great run you've had these 15 years. As one of the people who were part of the creation of the concept of the center, I can tell you that you've exceeded my wildest expectations. You are on the way. You've got a great future ahead of you, but we must not let up. And you've got to continue to be bold and innovative and creative, leading the edge. This is, after all, the center, the National Center for Rural Economic Development. You were created as supposed to be a model for how rural parts of the country economically develop. That's why this was created in the national sense. So you have a great obligation, and you've got a great onus on your back to be creative and to be a leader and to be a model for others to follow. So far, you're living up to that drive. There's one fellow in the audience I want to recognize now, who was on my staff all the years that we were doing this work. He's since retired, but Donnie Girdler's with us this morning. Donnie, wave your hand. Thank you for this signal honor. Onward, upward. Godspeed.